Please rise, ladies and gentlemen. The 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now convened for its 32nd regular session.
The second regular session of this Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now called to order. Requesting the Honorable Gentleman from Santa Cruz, Honorable Encabo, to kindly lead the invocation to be followed by the national anthem.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let's put ourselves in the presence of our Lord Jesus Christ. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father in heaven, who guides the destiny of men and nations, we implore the guidance of the divine providence and the Holy Spirit to assist us in our tasks and in the proceedings of this chamber, that we shall be faithful in our mandate for the welfare of the people. We ask you to bless and enlighten the members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan in all they do for the common good and for the welfare of our province and the nation in general. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Bayang magiliw, perwas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiging, sa manlulupi, kita masisingil, sa lahat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit totoo, ay ilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang tinawag. Ang isang ng watawat mo'y nagumpay na nagiging, ang bituin at araw niya kailan mapalit magiging. Lupa ng araw ng warangit magsip na layagin sa likod. Aming ligaya na pagpay mamagin, magamatay ng tayo sa'yo.
The good secretaries being requested to kindly call the roll.
Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III, Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado, Honorable Melgabal R. N. Cabo, Honorable Mercedes Arihano, Honorable Danilo R. Red, Honorable Ismael D. Pirin, Honorable Jose Neril L. Manggol, Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada, Honorable Lorena Rosales. Madam Presiding Officer, with 10 members of the board present, we have the necessary quorum for this morning session.
With 10 members of the board present, the chair declares the presence of quorum. We can proceed with the order of business. Recognizing the good floor leader, Honorable Leva.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Officer. Madam Presiding Officer, for the reading of the minutes of the 31st regular session, I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes and consider the same as having been read without prejudice to the corrections, amendments from the members of the board. I so move.
There is a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the March 17, 2023 session, so we can proceed with the corrections directly. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. We can proceed with the correction.
Inviting members of the board who have some corrections to the minutes of the previous session.
Any correction from the floor?
Madam Presiding Officer, since no member of the board manifested any correction to the minutes, I move that we approve and adopt the minutes of the 31st regular session dated March 17, 2023. I so move.
There's a motion to adopt the minutes of the March 17, 2023 session. Any duly seconded by Honorable Opis, Honorable Mangkukang, Honorable Rihano. Any objection? The chair hears none. Thus, the minutes of the March 17, 2023 session is now approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, during the 30th regular session of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, we have awarded 12 outstanding achievers in the region of Mimaropa from the Department of Education. And we have learned from them that 12 out of 12 awards were garnered by the distinguished teachers and non-teaching personnel from the Division of Marinduque. It is right and proper to also give credit where credit is due. So today, we will award and commend the Schools Division of Marinduque, headed by Dr. Elsie Barrios, for bagging the 12 major awards in the 2023 Search for Outstanding Achievers in the region. For that, may I move that we suspend the rules of procedure of this Sangguniang Panlalawigan to give way to the awarding of commendation to the DepEd Marinduque. I so move.
There's a motion to temporarily suspend the rules to give way to our guest. Any objection? The chair hears none. The internal rules and procedures now suspended.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized for the reading of the citation.
Proceed, Honorable Leva. We are requesting the Superintendent of the Marinduque Division Office, Ma'am Elsie Barrios, together with Ma'am Maida and Ma'am Mendoza. Okay, proceed, Honorable Leva.
Republic of the Philippines, Province of Marinduque, Boac, Office of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Excerpts from the minutes of the 30th Regular Session of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan, SB Session Hall, March 10, 2023. Resolution number 483, Series of 2023, Resolution congratulating and commending the Schools Divisions of Marinduque, headed by Dr. Elsie T. Barrios, for bagging 12 of the major awards in the 2023 Search for Outstanding Achievers in the region or SOR, dubbed as the Mibaro Parangal Sinag Kahusayan, held last February 23 to 24, 2023 at the Marinduque Grand Opera Hotel, and expressing the province's utmost gratitude on their contributions in the promotion and development of quality education in the province of Marinduque. Whereas, the Department of Education, DepEd Mimaropa Region, conducted the 2023 Mimaro Parangal Sinag Kahusayan last February 23, 24, 2023 at the Manila Grand Opera Hotel in recognition of the accomplishments, initiatives, and efforts of the teaching and non-teaching personnel of the division, offices, and schools in the Mimaropa region. Whereas, the highlight of the said activity was the comparing of awards to the winners of the 2023 Search for Outstanding Achievers in the region, recognition of public and private education stakeholders, and the recognition of the vision partnership focal persons and their alternatives, among others. Whereas, 12 of the major awards conferred in the said ceremony were taken by the teaching and non-teaching personnel of the Schools Division of Marinduque as follows: Outstanding Kindergarten Teacher, Outstanding Classroom Teacher Elementary, Outstanding Classroom Teacher Secondary, Outstanding ALS Teacher, Outstanding Special Education Teacher, Outstanding Master Teacher Elementary, Outstanding Master Teacher Secondary, Outstanding Principal Elementary, Outstanding Principal Secondary, Outstanding Supervisor, Outstanding Non-Teaching Personnel First Level, Outstanding Non-Teaching Personnel Second Level. Whereas, the exemplary performance, innovations, initiatives, and strategies of the Schools Division of Marinduque has indeed contributed in the advancement of quality education in the province, and the numerous awards they achieved were manifestations of their sincere and dedicated service to the people of Marinduque that is worthy of recognition and commendation. Wherefore, premises considered, and on motion of Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III, duly seconded by Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang and Honorable Bernardine E. Opes Mercado, it was resolved, as it is hereby resolved, to congratulate and commend the Schools Division of Marinduque, headed by Dr. Elsie Barrios, for bagging 12 of the major awards in the 2023 Search for Outstanding Achievers in the region, dubbed as Mimaro Parangal Sinag Kausayan, held last February 23, 24, 2023 at the Manila Grand Opera Hotel, and expressing the province's utmost gratitude on their contributions in the promotion and development of quality education in the province of Marinduque. Resolved finally that copies of this resolution be furnished to the Schools Division of Marinduque through Dr. Elsie Barrios for their information. Adopted this 10th day of March 2023 at Boac, Marinduque. Certified to be duly adopted, James L. Solas, SP Secretary. Attested, Adeline M. Angeles, Vice Governor and Presiding Officer.
Give an applause to our very effective partners from the Marinduque Schools Division Office. And at this juncture, may we respectfully request Ma'am Barrios, together with Ma'am Mendoza, Ma'am Manay, and Ma'am Legrand, to be with us po dito sa taas, and also requesting Honorable Leva to kindly join us. And Bukal Red, the chairperson of the Committee on Education. Thank you, ha, grabe. Sabi namin ay parang inangkop siguro yung sa awarding yung mga taga-ibang province. Bakit naman siya nilagyan? Mamimigay kami sa mga sunod na. And may we request Dr. Barrios for a short address to the board.
Good morning po to all of us, especially to this honored august body headed by our Honorable Vice Governor, Honorable Adeline M. Angeles, and to all of us, good morning. Good morning. It is really an honor for us in the Department of Education to be given such resolution from your honored body, because we know that our efforts are being appreciated by our provincial government, and of course with the leadership of our Sangguniang Panlalawigan, through the leadership of our Vice Governor, Honorable Adeline Angeles. To all of you, words are not enough to express our gratitude, not only by having that resolution, but your support to the Department of Education. Nandiyan po palagi sa atin, kasama po ang atin pong bukal po sa education, lagi po kami kinukumusta. At syempre po kayong lahat, ramdam po namin talaga yung malasakit. Yun po ang pinakamalaga doon. Yung malasakit po para po sa mga edukador, both teaching and non-teaching personnel po ng Department of Education, of which we believe that your concern, your malasakit, geared towards having a matatag education here in Marinduque, na we are known not only for being resilient, but we are known for being strong amid all the challenges that we face. We were able to garner all the major awards. It's really a very amazing and overwhelming experience for us, and we have proven our worth as a province, as a division, and at least we have motivated our educators, both teaching and non-teaching, to really accept the challenge, because it's really a challenge, because all the divisions in the region have their representative and they are being assessed. And we thank God because they were able to make it, and they are recognized by the regional office. In fact, our Honorable Governor was there, and we are very appreciative of his presence, na kami po ay sinamahan niya po doon. Ayan, kaya sa mulit-muli po, maraming salamat po sa inyo. And I think it is also timely for me to thank all of you, because there will be a nationwide reshuffling all over the Philippines. And it's a mandatory po na paglilipatan para hindi po kayo magulat. O bakit biglang umalis? Wala nagsabing salamat. Ano po, anytime po it will happen. So I serve our division for more than 3 years. It's just that we have the pandemic, kaya ibang-iba po ang nangyari nung pandemic. But I want to update all of us also, those short po ang aking time, na I was able to visit all the 229 schools, including the Malayak, which is, very challenging. Hinadhara, lahat po ng schools dito, sa buong Marinduque po ay inabot ko na po at nakita ko po ang sitwasyon. Yes po, I was able to visit them and to provide them technical assistance, and of course recommend them for construction and for repair of schools, because it's one of our challenges here that I witnessed because of the typhoons which are frequently visiting our division. So during our meetings with our governor and with the regional office, I was able to recommend all of those schools to have repair and for construction of buildings. We submitted already our reports to the congressman and to our governor. And of course, to your office po, we can provide Vice Governor for our strong partnership po for the good of the learners. Especially po that nowadays, the construction really and repair are lodged in the local government, not in the DepEd po. Kaya sa mulit-muli po, sa dami man ng mga challenges na dinanas natin, naming lahat, ramdam po namin ang inyong malasakit, at nagkaroon man po ng pandemic ay nairaos po talaga natin yung pag-aaral ng mga bata. At sa ngayon po, we are very strong in our advocacy in reading, early numeracy and literacy. In fact, we are currently having our meeting with all the school heads. The 229 school heads, they are there in our conference hall, and we are continuously motivating them to do their best for our learners, that there is no mass promotion, but rather we have that no read, no pass, and we will really have interventions for those who are struggling readers. So from kindergarten to grade 6, we are very vigilant. In fact, when I visited our schools, I let them read. No? So yun po ang aking pinaka-ano. And we can have a partnership with you if you want to, na maging reading mentor ng mga bata, kung gusto po ninyo. Kasi we have a partnership with Marinduque State College. We have a partnership with them. We have Ford Samoa. And of course, we are motivating and we are advocating more partners who can help our learners, in order for us to motivate our learners to read, that everybody, all the leaders are reading, and to have more gains po. Kasi we have learning losses na sinasabi po nila. But no matter how difficult, kahit pa sinasabi lang there are learning losses, we are not disheartened, because we believe that if we move forward and do something for our learners, then may magagawa po talaga tayo. Ganun po ang aming advocacy. Kaya mulit-muli po, maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat. At harinawa po, ako naman ay 49 pa lang. Every 3 years po ay umiikot kami. So, I hope that when I come back, I'm still welcome. Hopefully po, kasi masasaulo ko pa ang Mimaropa March bago po ako retire. Kasi po ay 7 lang naman po ang divisions. So talagang every 3 years mandatory kaming nag-move to give chance to other leaders to lead the division. But in my leadership here, I'm really thankful po sa inyo lahat. Napaka-warm, napaka-gagaling nyo po. And we've proven that because we have all the proofs, no? So, lahat po na pwede kong gawin sa atin pong division, I already did my share. We were able to do, meron na tayong hymn sa division, meron na kayong marker after 101 years, meron na po tayong chronicle, meron pong chronicle ang division, and we have so many other programs and projects which are in place, especially po the reading, early reading. We have that very in place program, and we do summer reading programs also to really instill in the hearts and minds of our learners how to love reading. So with that, I hope that our leaders here will continue to support our learners po for the good of the Marinduqueños and to welcome me back if ever that I will be coming back. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Elsie Barrios. Any other message for our partners from the Schools Division of Marinduque and to Dr. Barrios also? Any message from the honorable members of this august body? Kung wala po, the presiding officer would like to thank again our partners from the Schools Division of Marinduque for the leadership and for the mission of especially serving our students and the youth in a very, very special and special way. Ang kalidad ng edukasyon sa lalawigan ng Marinduque ay hindi matatawaran. And it became the many awards and recognitions received by the Division of Marinduque is a public manifestation of that. And alam namin na hindi nyo naman po siguro habang nagseserbisyo sa mga kabataan ng lalawigan ng Marinduque ay hindi naman ang primary purpose ay ang award, di po ba? Subalit malaking bagay pa rin at napakalaking inspirasyon at motivation na ang Schools Division of Marinduque ay may mga ganito pong award. Hina-highlight po lagi ng Sangguniang Panlalawigan ang pagbibigay ng award sa mga katuwang sa serbisyo na nabibigyan po ng recognition, and we are seeing to it that it is being publicly known. Sapagkat maliban po sa serbisyo na atin pong binibigay, we also recognize the strong need for our constituency to be hopeful and to recognize that there are many beautiful things that are happening in the province. At ang inyo pong mga pagsisikap, ang inyo pong award na mga na-receive ay siguradong nagpapakita po ng katibayan ng mga magagandang bagay na nangyayari sa lalawigan. And we should celebrate. We should celebrate these small wins. And also, as presiding officer of the Sanggunian, nais po naming iparating kay Dr. Elsie Barrios ang aming taus-pusong pasasalamat for being an effective partner, your effective leadership in the Division of Marinduque. At alam naman po natin yung mga awards na ganyan ay nagpapakita rin ng epektibong pagtitimon sa division office, sa Schools Division ng Marinduque. Kaya maraming salamat, Ma'am Dr. Barrios, sa pagiging epektibong timon ng Schools Division of Marinduque. And we are confident that you will continue to bloom and that you will continue to serve as blessings to many others wherever you will be planted. So ang amin pong pasasalamat sa inyo at ang aming best wishes kung saan man po kayo dadalhin ng inyong mission ay nawa po ay patuloy na maging biyaya at biyayaan din kayo ng lahat ng kailangan ninyo. Again, Dr. Elsie Barrios.
The Honorable Maki Caballes will act as the temporary floor leader.
Thank you po, Mr. Presiding Officer. Can now proceed to the approval and or the amendment of the agenda. For today's session, we have one message and correspondence from the Governor. We have 4 communications and petitions. We have 3 municipal ordinances for review of the board. We have 1 proposed ordinance, and we have 4 committee reports. And an additional 5 items, which were referred already to the floor, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Before we act on the approval of the agenda, may I inform the body there are 5 certified as urgent communications or correspondence from the Governor. 1 is the supplemental AIP. 2nd is the MOA with DOLE on the GIP interns. Number 3 is the Memorandum of Agreement with MNHS and Memorandum of Agreement with Kawit National High School with regards to the Work Immersion Partnership, and 1 MOA with DOST with regards to Science and Technology Week celebration. And there is a proposed amendment to the existing municipal ordinance under the proposed ordinance. So may I ask the floor leader to include this in his motion, that to include this additional correspondence from the Office of the Governor certified as urgent, and as well as the proposed ordinance.
Mr. Presiding Officer, I formally move for the inclusion in today's agenda of the 5 communications from the Office of the Governor certified as urgent, specifically the supplemental IUAP, the MOA with DOLE, the MOA with MNHS, the MOA with the Kawit National High School, and MOA with DOST.
Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Yes, Mr. Presiding Officer, formally move for the approval of today's agenda as amended.
There is a motion to amend to approve today's agenda as amended. Any second? Duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the amendment of the agenda is now approved.
Mr. Presiding Officer, for today's session, we do not have any privileged speech and question hour.
We now go to the committee report of the Committee of the Whole with the Committee on Transportation as the lead committee. May I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Transportation for its committee report.
The gentleman from Mogpog, Honorable Mangkukang, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Floor Leader. Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. The committee report number 119, that's 2023, Committee of the Whole, and the Committee on Transportation as the lead committee. Subject, Sangguniang Panlalawigan Resolution number 389, series of 2023. Resolution requesting the Philippine Ports Authority or PPA and the Maritime Industry Authority, Marina, for the resumption of operation of the Kawit Port in Boac and the Buyabud Port in Santa Cruz, both in the province of Marinduque. We have the resource persons. Here's the final recommendations, Madam Chair. Based on the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends the adoption of the following resolutions. First, resolution requesting the Maritime Industry Authority or Marina to make further study on the possibility of opening the Kawit-Batangas City Road. Second, a resolution requesting Philippine Ports Authority through the Department of Transportation for the construction of breakwater in Kawit Port. Third, a resolution requesting the Maritime Industry Authority to issue a special permit to Star Horse and or Montenegro shipping lines for the conduct of special trips for Kawit-Talaw-Talaw port route and vice versa during Holy Week. Respectfully submitted, the Committee of the Whole, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Mangkukang. Any clarification from the floor? Anyway, it's a Committee of the Whole report. Thank you so much, Honorable Mangkukang, for rendering it on behalf of the Committee of the Whole. So, what is now the pleasure of Honorable Mangkukang?
Madam Chair, I formally move for the adoption of the committee report number 119, that's 2023, of the Committee of the Whole.
There's a motion for the adoption of Committee Report 119-2023 of the Committee of the Whole. Any objection? The Chair hears none. Thus, the Committee Report number 119-2023 of the Committee of the Whole, as rendered by the Chair of the Committee on Transportation Chairman, is now adopted. And what is the manifestation of the gentleman from Mogpog with regard to the resolutions?
Accompanying resolutions be transferred under business for today, Madam Chair.
And likewise, there's a motion for a motion for the inclusion of the recommended resolutions included in the adopted committee report in the business for the day. Any objection? The Chair hears none. The motion is approved. In relation to that also, the presiding officer just remembered that the recommendation to call again the Marina, the Coast Guard, and the PNP with regard to the ticketing system was temporarily suspended because we are anticipating a meeting that will be called by the executive. So may we know from the Secretariat if they had been informed already with regard to, but the Office of the Governor has been informed already with regard to the representations. So we will just request the chairpersons na in-identify po natin as our representatives to please be present just in case magpatawag po ang gobernador.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized for the committee report. Yours truly as chairperson of the committee, the Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, the Honorable Jose Nerel M. Mangol, the Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada, and the Honorable Ismael D. Pilim. Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for the adoption of committee report number 121 series of 2023 of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances.
There is a motion from the reporting committee chair for the adoption of committee report number 121-2023 as rendered. Any objection? The chair hears none, thus the motion is approved. Committee report number 121-2023 is now adopted.
May I further move that the accompanying resolutions be transferred to the business for the day portion of today's session.
And that likewise, all corresponding resolutions included in the adopted committee report be included in the business for the day.
May I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the committee on this representation, Madam Presiding Officer, as chairperson of the committee on rules, laws, on human resource, labor, and employment.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
This representation as chairperson, with the indulgence of the members of the committee, reports favorable action on the request of the governor for adoption of a resolution appropriating monetization for leave credit to all qualified officials. The committee recommends that we stick to the recommendation of the governor of 15 days.
Okay.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized to render committee report of the Committee on Human Resource, Labor, and Employment on the governor providing appropriation of 15 days grant. Return favorable action on the same, and a resolution providing for appropriation will be sponsored during the disciplinary portion of the session. Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the accompanying resolution is being transferred to the business for the day, Madam
So
Chair.
again, what is the final recommendation?
The recommendation is for the sponsorship of a resolution providing for appropriation for 15 days.
Okay. Any, is there a proper motion already?
Yes, Madam Chair, that it be transferred to the business for the day.
There's a motion that it be transferred to business for the day. Any objection? The chair hears none. Such the same item is being transferred to business for the day as moved by the reporting chair.
Well, Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Education and Culture and Sports, Education and Culture, for its committee report.
The gentleman from Santa Cruz, Honorable Red, is recognized.
Madam Chair, the committee hereby recommends for the adoption of the following regarding authorizing the governor to sign into and execute a MOA between the PGM and Marinduque National High School, Madam Chair. And number two, Madam Chair, the committee recommends for the adoption of number two between to sign into and execute the MOA between the Kawit National High School, Comprehensive High School, and Provincial Government of Marinduque in relation to work immersion partnership, Madam Chair. I move for the adoption of the committee report and accompanying his resolution be transferred to the business of the day. I move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Honorable Red. So, bali MOA with Kawit National High School, with Marinduque National High School, and ano pa pong, ano po?
Kawit po, Kawit.
Dalawa lang po.
Dalawa po.
Itong Kawit at saka National High School po. With regard to the work immersion partnership, meron pong...
I move for the adoption of the committee report and be transferred to business of the day. I so move, Madam Chair.
Meron pong mungkahi na pagtibayin ang committee report ng Committee ng Education favorably endorsing the granting of authority to Governor Velasco to enter into MOA with two schools, Kawit National High School and Marinduque National High School, with regard to their implementation of, ano nga ulit ang tawag? Immersion program.
Immersion program.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The committee report is now adopted. And as moved, the corresponding resolutions of authority will be included in the business for the day.
Madam Chair, pag yata po, college internship, pag senior high,
Immersion.
work immersion
Okay.
ang tawag nila.
Okay po. Salamat po.
Madam Presiding Officer, the Vice Chairperson of the Committee on Science and Technology would like to make a manifestation. The
Yeah.
Honorable Incabo.
Yes, Honorable Encabo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Leader. Madam Chair, this is with regards to the request a resolution for approving the school year 2023. Sorry, Madam Chair. I move for a motion for reconsideration, Madam Chair, on the memorandum of agreement between the provincial government of Marinduque and the DOST. Madam Chair, to sign and execute the memorandum of agreement between the provincial government and the DOST Mimaropa in relation to 2023
Hello.
Mimaropa Regional Science and Technology Week celebrations, Madam Chair.
Okay po. And everybody has copy of the communication from the governor, ano po, including the draft MOA for our reference. So there is the chair, the reporting committee chair is moving for
Reconsideration to include this memorandum of MOA between the provincial government, Madam Chair.
so
In the committee report.
So it will be in the form of the report sa ngayon. So
Yeah.
the reporting, Honorable Encabo, on behalf of the committee, is moving for the adoption muna of
Adoption.
the committee report, recommending for the granting of authority to the government and for it to be transferred to business for the
Yes, Madam Chair, that it will be transferred to the business for the day,
business
Madam
for
Chair.
the day. Okay po. So
I move for the adoption and of the committee report and its accompanying resolution authorizing the governor, Presbyter Velasco, to sign and execute the memorandum of agreement between the provincial government of Marinduque and the DOST Mimaropa in relation to 2023 Mimaropa Regional Science and Technology Week celebration. So I move, Madam Chair.
thank you, Honorable Encabo. There is a motion from the reporting committee vice chair for the adoption of the committee report, favorably endorsing the approval of a resolution that will grant authority to governor to sign into MOA with DTI. Any objection? With
DOST Mimaropa, Madam
ST
Chair.
with regard to the 2023 Mimaropa Regional Science and Technology Week celebration. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report is adopted. And the corresponding resolution, as
yes.
moved by the vice chair, is now transferred to business for the day.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Another committee report to be rendered by the chairperson of the Committee on Appropriation with regards to the AIP, supplemental AIP.
Yes, Honorable Caballes.
The presiding officer, with the indulgence of the committee chair or the committee of the disaster, Committee on Appropriations is now ready to render a committee report.
Proceed, Honorable Caballes.
The presiding officer, as we all know, there's been a series of meetings concerning the impending risk of the disaster caused by the oil spill from MT Princess Empress, which will result to significant risk for environment, public health, livelihood, and local economies here in Marinduque. Therefore, it is a recommendation of the Committee on Appropriations, jointly with the Committee on Disaster, to recommend the grant of legislative authority for the execution and passing of a resolution for CY 2023 and supplemental annual investment program to respond to the potential exposure to a recent environmental disaster caused by the oil spill from MT Princess Empress, which will result to significant risk to our environment, public health, livelihood, and local economies. And that the accompanying resolution be transferred to business for the day.
Thank you, Honorable Caballes. Any objection to the committee report? To the motion of Honorable Caballes for the adoption of the committee report, recommending the approval of a supplemental AIP as mentioned. The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report as rendered by the reporting chair is now adopted, and the corresponding resolution is being transferred to business for the day.
Madam Chair, this representation as chairperson of the Committee on Labor and Human Resources would like to also to manifest the consideration of the previous referral to the committee. This is with regards to the certified urgent correspondence from the governor asking for authority to sign a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Labor and Employment regarding the GIP interns or the government internship program.
Proceed, Honorable Eva.
Madam Presiding Officer, the Committee on Human Resource and Employment would like to render favorable action on the request of the Governor to sign a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Labor and Employment, Mimaropa Region. The responsibility of the provincial government as GIP partner agency is to identify the place of assignment and engage the intern for a period of 3 months to a maximum of 6 months computed from the date of intern reported, to ensure that the tasks assigned to the interns would be limited only to those listed under Section 7 of the Department Order 204 Series of 2019. Madam Presiding Officer, the government intern program is a program of the DOLE giving financial assistance to the provincial government of Marinduque to those interns or government who would like to have internship in government service for a period of 3 to 6 months. Ang pera pong ito ay nanggagaling sa DOLE. Itatransfer lang po sa atin dito sa provincial government, and we will identify kung saan i-assign dito sa provincial government.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Eva. And what is now the pleasure of the reporting chair?
The chair recommends the passage of a resolution granting authority to the governor to sign a memorandum of agreement by and between the provincial government of Marinduque and the Department of Labor and Employment to engage in the GIP internship program.
This is a committee report.
Yes, Madam Chair.
So what is the pleasure of the reporting chair? Adoption of the committee report?
I move for the adoption of the committee report, Madam Chair.
There's a motion for the adoption of the committee report favorably endorsing the passage of a resolution that will authorize the governor to enter into MOA with DOLE on behalf of the PGM. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report as rendered is now adopted, and the corresponding resolution is being transferred to business for the day.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Another committee report is to be rendered by the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances with regards to the ordinances passed by the municipality of Boac.
Proceed, Honorable Eva.
Madam Presiding Officer, inasmuch as we have already encountered ordinances of the same nature, namely an ordinance requiring the municipal government institution in the municipality to patronize locally produced product, the Babay ASF program ordinance, and the granting of legislative franchise to individuals. The committee recommends that for the approval of the same and declaration of these ordinances, namely Municipal Ordinance number 2023-356, Municipal Ordinance number 2023-357, and Municipal Ordinance number 2023-358, all of the municipality of Boac as valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to act. Therefore, I move for the adoption of the committee report and that the corresponding resolutions be transferred to the business for the day portion of today's session.
There's a motion for the adoption of a resolution from the Committee on Rules for the favorably endorsing the passage of an ordinance declaring municipal ordinances 2023-356, number 2023-357, and number 2023-358, all from Boac, to be declared valid and operative. Any objection to the motion of Honorable Leva? The Chair hears none. The committee report is now adopted and the corresponding resolutions are now included in the business for the day.
That closes the committee report in today's session. We now go to the calendar of business. For the unfinished business, we don't have any. For the business for the day, the first item, may this representation be recognized. Madam Presiding Officer, may I formally move for the adoption of a resolution providing appropriation for 15 days grant of monetization leave credit for all qualified employees and officials of the provincial government. I so move.
There's a motion from Honorable Leva for the adoption of a resolution granting 15 days monetization leave credits to all qualified officials and employees of the provincial government. Duly seconded by Honorable Mangkukang, Honorable Rejano. Any objection? The Chair hears none. Thus, the resolution granting 15 days monetization leave credits to all qualified officials and employees of the provincial government is now approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for the adoption of a resolution granting authority to Governor Presbytero Velasco to sign into a memorandum of agreement by between the provincial government of Marinduque and the Department of Labor and Employment, Mimaropa Region, for the government internship program. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Is there any second to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Mangkukang and Honorable Rejano. Any objection? The Chair hears none. Thus, the resolution granting authority to Governor Presbytero Velasco to enter into contract to sign into a memorandum of agreement for and on behalf of the provincial government of Marinduque with DOLE with regard to the government internship program is now approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the Chairperson of the Committee on Education for the adoption of a resolution as part of its committee report.
Yes, Honorable Red.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval granting authority to Provincial Governor Presbytero J. Velasco Jr. to sign memorandum of agreement with Marinduque National High School, Madam Chair. Again, I move for the approval granting authority to Provincial Governor Presbytero J. Velasco Jr. to sign into and execute the MOA between the Kawit National High School, Comprehensive High School, and Provincial Government of Marinduque in relation to work immersion partnership. Be approved, Madam Presiding Officer.
They will be in separate resolutions. Okay po. There is an omnibus motion from Honorable Red.
Dalawang resolution po ito.
Okay po. So there is an omnibus resolution from Honorable Red for the adoption of a resolution, granting authority to Honorable Governor Presby Velasco to execute and sign a memorandum of agreement between Kawit National High School, Kawit National Comprehensive High School, and the Marinduque National High School regarding the work immersion partnership between the two educational institutions. Any objection? Any second first to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Opis Mercado, Honorable Rejano, Honorable Leva. Any objection? The Chair hears none. Thus, the omnibus motion is approved. The two resolutions are both approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the Vice Chairperson of the Committee on Science and Technology for its sponsorship of a measure.
Yes, Honorable Encabo.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
I move for the approval and passage of a resolution granting our Governor Presbyter Velasco Jr. to enter into and sign and execute the Memorandum of Agreement between the Department of Science and Technology, Mimaropa, and the Provincial Government of Marinduque regarding the 2023 Mimaropa Regional Science and Technology Week celebration. So I move, Madam Chair.
Any second to the motion of Honorable Encabo? Seconded by Honorable Rejano, Honorable Dindin Opis Mercado. Any objection? The chair hears none. Thus, the resolution granting authority to enter and sign the Memorandum of Agreement between the Department of Science and Technology, Mimaropa, and the Provincial Government of Marinduque in relation to the 2023 Mimaropa Regional Science and Technology Week celebration is now approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Transportation for the accompanying resolution of Committee Report Number 119, Series of 2023.
Yes, Honorable Mangkukang.
Thank you, Madam Chair. May I move for a passage of a resolution requesting the Maritime Industry Authority, Marina, to make further study on the possibility of opening the Kawit-Batangas City Road. I so move, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable duly seconded. Is that a second? Will the sponsoring chair consider a phrase na and to provide the provincial government updated information on the result of that study and disposition that their agency have with regard to this matter?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Para lang ma-remind sila na i-feedback agad sa atin kapag meron na pong result yung kanilang pag-aaral.
Amenable po ang Chair.
Okay. Any second to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Leva, Honorable Mercado, Honorable Rejano. Any objection? The Chair hears none. Thus, the resolution requesting the Maritime Industry Authority or Marina to make further study on the possibility of opening the Kawit-Batangas City route and to provide the provincial government of Marinduque related information on the result of their study and disposition of their agency on this matter is now approved.
Another resolution, Madam Chair. Again, I formally moves for a passage of a resolution requesting Philippine Ports Authority or PPA through the Department of Transportation, DOTR, for the construction of breakwater in Kawit Port, Boac, Marinduque. I so move, Madam Chair.
Any second to the motion by Honorable Mangkukang, duly seconded by Honorable Dindin Opis Mercado, Honorable Rejano. Any objection? The Chair hears none. Thus, a resolution requesting the Philippine Ports Authority or PPA through the Department of Transportation or DOTR for the construction of breakwater in Kawit Port is now approved. We'll just request that in the resolving clause, a copy be furnished also our Congressman Lord Alan Quinto Velasco for his support and disposition.
And for the third and last resolution, again, may I move for the passage of a resolution requesting the Maritime Industry Authority or Marina to issue a special permit to Star Horse and or Montenegro shipping lines for the conduct of special trips for Kawit-Talaw-Talaw port route and vice versa during Holy Week. I so move, Madam Chair.
Any second to the motion of Honorable Mangkukang, duly seconded by Honorable Dindin Opis Mercado, Honorable Aleva, and Honorable Rejano. Any objection? The Chair hears none. Thus, a resolution requesting the Marina or Maritime Industry Authority to issue a special permit to Star Horse and or Montenegro shipping lines for the conduct of special trips for Kawit-Talaw-Talaw port route and vice versa during Holy Week is now approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Mangkukang. Yes, Honorable Leva.
This representation would like to enter his name as one of the those who second in the breakwater. I missed the that point, Madam Chair.
Okay, let it be considered by the Secretariat for the record. Yes, Honorable Leva.
Madam Chair, may I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Appropriation for its committee, for the accompanying resolution of its committee report.
Yes, Honorable Caballes.
Madam Presiding Officer, this representation as the chairperson of the Committee on Appropriations hereby moves for the approval or adoption of a resolution granting legislative authority to the execution and passing of resolution for CY 2023 Supplemental Annual Investment Program to respond to the potential exposure to a recent environmental disaster caused by the oil spill from MT Princess Empress, which will result to significant risk to our environment, public health, livelihood, and local economies.
Is there any second to the motion by Honorable Caballes? Duly seconded by Honorable Leva, Honorable Mercado, Honorable Rihano. Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. Thus, a resolution providing supplemental or approving the supplemental investment plan of the province of Marinduque for the purpose of addressing the oil spill as mentioned by the sponsoring chair is now approved. Yes, Honorable Leva.
May this representation be recognized for the adoption of the resolution as a result of the committee report number 121/2023 of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances.
Yes, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for an omnibus motion for the passage of the following resolution. Number 1, resolution declaring municipal ordinance number 258 series of 2023 of the Municipality of Santa Cruz entitled an ordinance establishing governance and service delivery structure for the mental health program in the Municipality of Santa Cruz and for other related purposes valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. Number 2, resolution declaring municipal ordinance number 197 series of 2023 of the Municipality of Gasan entitled an ordinance anticipating the African swine fever disease control program and implementation of Bantay ASF sa barangay or Babay ASF of the Department of Agriculture and for other purposes in the Municipality of Gasan, Marinduque, valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. Number 3, resolution declaring municipal ordinance number 2021-351 of the Municipality of Boac entitled an ordinance declaring December 8, 2022 to December 7, 2023 as the quadricentennial year of the establishment of Boac, Marinduque as an independent pueblo or town, creating a quadricentennial executive committee, appropriating funds thereof and for other related purposes valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. Number 4, resolution declaring ordinance number 257 series of 2025 of the Municipality of Buena Vista entitled an ordinance localizing the provision of protective measures to prevent gender-based sexual harassment in the streets, public spaces, online workplace, and educational or training institution and prescribing penalties therefore valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. Number 5, resolution declaring municipal ordinance number 276 series of 2023 of the Municipality of Boac, of Buena Vista, entitled an ordinance prescribing for the allocation for locally produced goods and services of at least 10% of the total procurement value of the municipal government, national government agencies, regional line agencies, and other government agencies holding offices in the Municipality of Buena Vista, Marinduque, and their mandatory promotion thereof valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
There is an omnibus motion from the Chair of the Committee on Rules for the adoption of a resolution involving the 5 municipal ordinances as mentioned. Any second to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Rejano, Honorable Dindin Opis Mercado. Any objection? The chair hears none. The omnibus motion is approved. The five resolutions declaring Municipal Ordinance Number 258, Series of 2023 of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, Municipal Ordinance Number 197, Series of 2023 of the Municipality of Gasan, Municipal Ordinance Number 2022-351 of the Municipality of Boac, Municipal Ordinance Number 275, Series of 2023 of the Municipality of Buenavista, and Municipal Ordinance Number 276, Series of 2023, also of the Municipality of Buenavista, are now declared valid and within the power and authority of the respective Sangguniang Bayan to enact.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized again for the adoption of a resolution as an offshoot of the committee report of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for an omnibus motion for the approval of the following resolutions. A resolution declaring Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-356 of the Municipality of Boac entitled An Ordinance Requiring All Government Institutions in the Municipality of Boac to patronize locally produced and processed product, food and delicacies in all its official transactions. Number 2, Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-357 of the Municipality of Boac entitled An Ordinance Adopting the Bantay ASF sa Barangay or the Babay ASF program, providing guidelines for implementation thereof and for other related purposes. And Municipal Ordinance as valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-358 entitled An Ordinance Granting a 3-year Motorized Tricycle Legislative Franchise to individual applicants who completed the mandatory requirement and standards under Municipal Ordinance Number 215-158 as herein specifically named as valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Any second to the omnibus motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Caballes, Honorable Mercado, Honorable Rejano. Any objection? Honorable Red. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The three resolutions declaring Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-356, Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-357, Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-358, all from the Municipality of Boac, are now declared valid and within the authority of the said LGU to enact.
May I ask that the Secretary to please read the title of proposed ordinance number 16-29.
Proposed ordinance number 16-29 entitled An Ordinance Strengthening the Vaccination Program by Providing for Bakuna Champions in the Province of Marinduque, sponsored by Honorable Bernadine Opis Mercado, Chairperson of the Committee on Health and Nutrition, co-sponsored by Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, Honorable Aurelio J. Lebo III, Honorable Mercedes Arrijano, Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Honorable Ismael D. Pilim, Honorable Jose Neril L. Mangol, and Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the lady from Boac, the Chairperson of the Committee on Health and Nutrition, for the sponsorship of the said measure.
Yes, Honorable Dindin Opis Mercado is recognized for the sponsorship message. Sponsorship.
Yes po.
Okay.
Thank you. Proposed Ordinance Number 16-29, an ordinance strengthening the vaccination program by providing for Bakuna Champions in the province of Marinduque, is now open for period of deliberation and amendment.
So any manifestations from the floor? Any deliberation? What's now the pleasure of the sponsoring chair?
If there's any amendment for the proposed ordinance, I move for proposed ordinance to be closed for the amendment.
Since there are no proposed amendments, we are now closing the period of amendment and proceed with the proper motion for possible approval for second reading.
I move for the approval for second reading the proposed ordinance number 16-29 and ordinance strengthening the vaccination program by providing for vaccination champs in the province of Marinduque. I so move, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There is a motion duly seconded for the adoption of a resolution enacting proposed ordinance number 16-29. The title of which is, as mentioned, strengthening the vaccination program by providing for bakuna champions in the province of Marinduque. Any objection? The chair hears none. Thus, proposed ordinance number 16-29 is now approved on second reading.
That closes the business for the day portion of today's session. We don't have unassigned business, Madam Presiding Officer. Madam Presiding Officer, inasmuch as proposed ordinance number 16-29 was approved on second reading without any amendment, I move for its consideration on third and final reading.
Any objection to the motion for consideration of the proposed ordinance for third and final reading? The chair hears none. Proceed. What's the pleasure of the chair?
May I ask that the Secretariat to please read the entirety of the proposed measure.
Proceed, Sir James.
Proposed ordinance number 16-29, an ordinance strengthening the bakuna vaccination program by providing for bakuna champions in the province of Marinduque, is sponsored by the Honorable Bernadine Opis Mercado, Chairperson of the Committee on Health and Nutrition, co-sponsored by Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballos, Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III, Honorable Mercedes Arijano, Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Honorable Ismael D. Pilim, Honorable Seneril L. Manggol, and Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada. Be it ordained by the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Marinduque in session assembled that Chapter 1, General Provisions, Section 1, Title, this ordinance shall be known as the Bakuna Champion Ordinance of 2023 of the Province of Marinduque. Section 2, Declaration of Principles and Policies. It is the policy of the provincial government of Marinduque to ensure the general health and well-being of all its constituents by protecting communities from vaccine-preventable diseases, especially those most vulnerable. The province shall contribute to the realization of this goal and shall adopt a participatory approach to prevention and elimination of vaccine-preventable diseases by mobilizing community action and engaging relevant non-governmental organizations, people's organizations, and vulnerable groups in the promotion, preparation, delivery, monitoring, and follow-up activities related to immunization. Our 2021 provincial EFHSIS data shows 62.70% of fully immunized children is still far from the national target of 95% due to a number of reasons, from previous bad experiences with vaccination to fear of side effects and misinformation. Thus, the need to strengthen our vaccination program and empower social mobilizers to help improve our vaccination coverage and prevent vaccine-preventable diseases in the province. Section 3, General Objectives. This ordinance seeks to, letter A, create the foundation for sustainable mobilization through empowerment of community champions. Letter B, recruit and develop a community-based team of volunteers available to support local health workers and other volunteer community health workers, amplify health messages to shape positive behavior on immunization and health. And letter C, decrease the burden of vaccine-preventable diseases through the social mobilization process to develop local strategies and activities to address vaccine hesitancy among vulnerable groups in the community. Section 4, definition of terms. As used in this ordinance, the term below shall have the meaning ascribed to them in this section. Any words or terms not defined shall be given their plain and customary meaning unless the context requires otherwise and shall be interpreted in a manner consistent with the purpose and the spirit of this ordinance. Letter A, Bakuna Champion, a barangay-based volunteer health worker responsible for increasing vaccination coverage by addressing vaccine hesitancy and linking their communities with vaccination and related service providers. Letter B, Barangay Health Worker, refers to a person who has undergone training programs under any accredited government or non-government organization and who voluntarily renders primary healthcare services in the community after having been accredited to function as such by the local health board in accordance with the guidelines promulgated by the Department of Health. Letter C, community, refers to a barangay, purok, or zone in rural or urban area where Bakuna Champion renders services. Letter G, gender expression, refers to the way a person communicates gender identity to others through behavior, clothing, hairstyle, communication, or speech pattern, or body characteristics. Letter E, gender identity, refers to the personal sense of identity as characterized, among others, by manner of clothing, inclinations, and behavior in relation to masculine or feminine conventions. A person may have a male or female identity with the physiological characteristics of the opposite sex, in which case this person is considered transgender. Letter F, health promotion, refers to the process of enabling people to increase control over and to improve their health. Letter G, primary care, refers to initial contact, accessible, continuous, comprehensive, and coordinated care that is accessible at the time of need, including a range of services for all presenting conditions and the ability to coordinate referrals to other healthcare providers in the healthcare delivery system when necessary. Letter H, primary care workers, refer to a healthcare worker who may be health professional or community health worker or volunteer certified to provide primary care services. Letter I, primary health care, refers to a whole-of-society approach that aims to ensure the highest level of health and well-being through equitable delivery of quality health services. Letter J, registration, refers to a systematic process of enlisting Bakuna Champion based on set of criteria promulgated by this ordinance. Letter K, sexual orientation, refers to the direction of emotional, sexual attraction or conduct towards people of the same sex, homosexual orientation, or towards people of both sexes, bisexual orientation, or towards people of the opposite sex or heterosexual orientation, or the absence of sexual attraction or asexual orientation. Letter L, social mobilization, refers to a process that engages and motivates wide range of partners and allies to raise awareness of and demand for a particular development objective through a dialogue. Letter M, vaccine hesitancy, refers to the delay in acceptance or refusal of a vaccine despite its availability. Letter N, voluntary service, refers to the activities rendered by Bakuna Champion on his or her own free will, responsive to the needs of the community, and for which he or she has no certificate of appointment and is not given a remuneration or salary. Chapter 2, roles and responsibilities. Section 5, the local health board shall be primarily responsible for the registration of Bakuna Champions in the province, and for this purpose shall, letter A, safeguard the registration process. Letter B, evaluate and take necessary action on the Bakuna Champions application for registration. Letter C, ensure that the board decision made on Bakuna Champion registration is reflected in a board's resolution or in the minutes of the meeting. Letter D, issue certificates of registration to qualified Bakuna Champions. Letter E, review and approve every incentive or benefit for Bakuna Champion requiring the expenditures of local funds to ensure that only deserving Bakuna champions get the same. Letter F, recommends benefit for Bakuna Champion from the local government. Letter G, maintain a registry of local Bakuna Champions. And letter H, monitor the provision of services by registered Bakuna Champions.
To facilitate the supervision of the Bakuna Champions, a Bakuna Champions Oversight Committee shall be created by the LHB to ensure the quality and effectiveness of the social mobilization program in promoting vaccine use and addressing vaccine hesitancy in the province with the following duties and responsibilities. Letter A, aid in the implementation, enforcement, and monitoring of this ordinance. B, evaluate the application and its supporting documents submitted by applicant Bakuna Champions. C, interview applicant, Bakuna Champions, and other parties as may be deemed necessary. D, recommend to the LHB appropriate action on the Bakuna Champions application for registration. E, coordinating with all concerned government agencies and private sector for the implementation of the program. Section 6, Bakuna Champions. The Bakuna Champion shall continue discharging his or her voluntary service as a community organizer and educator enumerated hereunder. Letter A. As a community organizer, he or she shall participate in organizing and mobilizing the community towards increased vaccination coverage by, letter I, maintaining regular communication with community leaders, volunteer health workers, and professional health workers. 2I, providing linkage between the community and local health agencies. 3I, facilitating referral and access to or association of the community with a relevant network of specific health and non-health service providers. 4, assisting the community to develop a health plan and to take action to promote their health and well-being through routine vaccination. 5, keeping records of the work activities on vaccination. 6, developing appropriate knowledge and skills among community members to promote their participation in local vaccination initiatives. B, as an educator, he or she shall provide knowledge and skills to community members in promoting vaccine use by conducting classes on promoting vaccine use and/or household teachings, updating knowledge of communities on relevant vaccination issues, and distributing appropriate information, education, and communication materials related to vaccination like flyers, posters, tarpaulins, and audiovisual presentations. Section 7. The local health office, the provincial health office shall responsible for the managerial oversight of registered Bakuna champions as part of the vaccination and health promotion program of the province. Responsibilities shall include but not be limited to: letter A, establishing baseline annual data on the burden of vaccine-preventable diseases among affected and vulnerable groups and other related studies and recommended further action on the findings of such data. B, monitor and evaluate health outcomes in relation to the institutionalization of Bakuna champions. Letter C, provide continuous and regular capacity development programs for Bakuna champions. Letter D, provide health clearance certification for registered Bakuna champions. E, develop, promote, and implement essential health services inclusive of basic community vaccination services. And F, implement education and promotion activities in various settings and subsectors in the community, especially parents and teachers, among others, and the appropriate linkage of community members with their respective Bakuna champion. Chapter 3, Registration. Section 8, the Bakuna Champions Oversight Committee. To facilitate registration of Bakuna champions, the local health board may create a Bakuna Champions Oversight Committee with the following core composition: A, Chairperson, Provincial Health Officer. B, Health Education and Promotion Officer or equivalent designate. C, President of the Provincial Barangay Health Worker Federation. D, Representative from Registered Bakuna Champions. E, Representative from community-based NGOs and/or POs implementing community-based health or health-related programs in the municipality or city. F, Representative from community-based NGOs, POs representing key vulnerable groups. And letter G, other members identified by the chair, whose specific function in the local government unit and role may serve to effectively implement this ordinance. Section 9, limitation on registration. The LHB shall see to it that the total number of registered bakuna champions shall not exceed 500 in the province. However, should the total number exceed 500, priority for registration shall be based on the need of the community for bakuna champions. Section 10, qualification for registration. Bakuna champions shall be registered with the local health board in the province in which they render service. The registered bakuna champion shall be given appropriate proof of said registration. To qualify for registration, a bakuna champion who is also a barangay health worker must, letter A, must be of legal age, at least 18 years of age, as of the date of the filing of the application for registration. B, able to read and write. C, be physically and mentally fit. D, must be willing to voluntarily perform and be trained on the roles and responsibilities of a bakuna champion and other related functions as may be mandated by higher authorities. E, must not have been convicted with any case involving moral turpitude. And F, must have no conflict of interest in the delivery of primary care services. In no instance shall any physical disability, mental health condition, sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression, or what we call SOGI, economic status, race, color, language, religion, ethnic, or social origin may be a qualification for bakuna champions. Section 11, procedure for registration. A, filing of application. The bakuna champion applicant shall submit to the bakuna champions oversight committee the following documents. Number 1, a duly accomplished application form, birth certificate or any official document in support to declared age. 3, barangay clearance. And 4, a medical certificate duly signed by the municipal health officer. Letter B, evaluation of application. Upon submission of application to the bakuna champions oversight committee of all required documents, the committee on its own shall: Number 1, evaluate the application and its supporting documents. Number 2, evaluate the application on the basis of other positions, designations, responsibilities held as volunteer community workers. And 3, interview the applicant bakuna champion when deemed necessary. Letter C, committee decision on the application for registration. The bakuna champion oversight committee shall deliberate and decide on the application of its supporting documents within 30 days, calendar days, from receipt thereof. However, the application shall deemed approved should the committee fail to act within the said period. Letter D, posting of committee decision. The committee's action on the application for registration shall be posted and submitted to the local officials within 30 calendar days from the date of the decision in a conspicuous place at the provincial health office, municipal health office, and barangay hall. Letter E, issuance of certificate of registration. Within 10 calendar days after the approval of the application, the bakuna champions oversight committee shall issue to the bakuna champion the corresponding certificate of registration and identification card signed by the chair or his or her designated representative. Letter F, notice of disapproval. A notice of disapproval stating the reasons for the decision shall be issued by the committee to the bakuna champion concerned. The Section 12, annual registration. the bakuna champion must register annually with the bakuna champions oversight committee. Accreditation for the first year of implementation shall immediately start after the effectivity thereof. For the renewal of registration, the following documents must be submitted. Letter A, a duly accomplished form for renewal of registration. B, a certificate of service record for the year prior to the renewal of registration, as certified by any member of the Bakuna Champions Oversight Committee. C, a proof of satisfactory performance rating in the year preceding renewal. Chapter 4, Benefits and Incentives. Section 13, Benefits and Incentives for Bakuna Champions. In recognition to their services and to aid them to perform their duties, all Bakuna champions who are actively and regularly performing their duties shall be entitled to the following incentives and benefits. A, training, education, and career enrichment. It shall be the duty of the local health office in cooperation with the Department of Health to provide registered Bakuna champions the basic training program to be conducted by the local health office or a capable NGO with 6 months from the date of their registration. The local health office shall also provide continuous capacity development for the Bakuna champions at least on an annual basis to ensure that they remain current in their knowledge of promoting vaccine use. B, pre-legal services. Legal representation and consultation services for Bakuna champions shall be immediately provided by the Provincial Legal Office in cases of coercion, interference, and in other civil and criminal cases filed by or against Bakuna champions arising out of or in connection with the performance of their duties as mandated under this ordinance. Letter C, medical examination. Compulsory medical examination shall be provided free of charge by the local health office to all Bakuna champions and shall be repeated once a year during their service. D, recognition and awards. Bakuna champions with outstanding performances based on evaluation of Municipal Health Officer and Bakuna Champion Oversight Committee shall be recognized with certificates of recognition or cash prize and in kinds or their services in the community. Chapter 5, Miscellaneous and Final Provisions. Section 14, repealing clause, all ordinances, rules, and regulation or parts thereof found to be in conflict with or inconsistent with the provision of this ordinance are hereby repealed or modified accordingly. And Section 15, Effectivity Clause. This ordinance shall take effect 3 consecutive weeks after its publication in a newspaper of local or general circulation or posting in at least 2 conspicuous places within the city or municipality.
Thank you, Sir James and Ma'am Beng, for reading the entire ordinance.
Madam Presiding Officer, I move that we vote through nominal voting.
Before we vote, I move for reconsideration. I know that we are already on 3rd reading, but just a query. In line 214, it mentions specifically that, instantial physical disability, mental health condition will be a qualification. Isn't it presumed na dapat in good mental condition yung Bakuna champion? May compulsory medical, di po ba? May compulsory medical examination. So, it presupposes na it will be a requirement that they are mentally and physically fit. So, will it be possible that we just reconsider the term mental health condition? Because I think it must be a requirement that they are in good mental. So, we'll just remove it or just be silent.
Okay po.
proponent is amenable to the
Yes, I am
correction.
amenable for some adjustment regarding
Okay.
the mental health condition.
So it will just be deleted.
Yes po.
So again, what is the pleasure of the sponsoring committee, sponsoring chair?
I move for the approval for third and final reading the proposed ordinance number 1629, an ordinance strengthening the vaccination program by providing for bakuna champions in the province of Marinduque. I so move.
There's a motion, but a while ago there is a pending motion also that. Okay, yes, Honorable Cabal, yes.
Thank you po, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I think that provision was provided in order to discourage or prohibit discrimination in the selection of bakuna champions. Because when we say mental health condition, it does not necessarily mean an ailment that will preclude or that will prevent a person from performing jobs at the barangay level.
Okay,
For example
yes,
po,
okay.
medyo the term physical disability may refer to multitude of conditions such as kahit po yung malabong mata that will qualify as a physical disability. Kasi
Yeah.
mental health conditions such as yung simple po na or early onset of dementia, depression.
But will it be...
Madam Chair, pero
Yes,
doon sa line naman po doon ay be physically and mentally fit.
Parang, Madam Chair, parang provision lang po siya
for inclusivity.
for inclusivity at para wala pong malabag na batas when it comes to discrimination, especially in terms of employment.
So we will reconsider. It's fine with me if that is the explanation. Or will it be okay to be just silent on that? I understand the purpose is to be inclusive.
Yes po.
So
In-explain ko
yes,
lang po yung provision na yun. Pero
the possible reason.
I defer to our Madam Chairperson naman po whether or not that is needed. So, yun lang.
Okay. So I will leave it to the sponsoring committee to decide an explanation by our member of the bar na member ng board and that with regard to the possible context and at the same time the comment of this presiding officer that it may we may be just silent with regard to that. So what is now the final, I will leave it to the sponsoring committee to
Okay po.
what is now the final. Are you going to retain?
Yes, Your Honor. We will just retain the word mental health condition as per the advice of our senior bukal, who is a lawyer. Siguro mas alam niya na this is necessary na mailagay po natin dito sa nasabing ordinance.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So there will be no amendment already,
Yes,
and I
po.
also reconsider this representation. Also reconsider. So what is now the final motion?
Madam Presiding Officer, this representation as an earlier
Ay.
motion to take the vote through nominal voting. The reason, Madam Chair, we are having this nominal voting during the third and final reading is to determine the nays and the ayes. And that is a requirement of the Republic Act 7160.
Proceed, requesting the assistance of our good secretary.
Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes.
Vote in favor.
Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III.
Yes.
Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III. Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado. Honorable Melga Balarencabo.
Yes.
Honorable Mercedes Arihano. Honorable Danilo R. Red.
Yes.
Honorable Ismael D. Pilim. Honorable Jose Neril L. Manggol. Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada. Honorable Loren A. Rosales.
Yes.
Madam Presiding Officer, with 10 members voting in favor of the proposal, no objection, no one registered for objection, and no abstention.
With the 10 members of the board voting favorably, I now declare proposed ordinance number 16-29 entitled an ordinance strengthening the vaccination program by providing for bakuna champions in the province of Marinduque, sponsored by Honorable Bernardine Din Opis Mercado, co-sponsored by Honorable Mark Julius Caballes, Honorable Aurelio Leva III, Honorable Mercedes Rejano, Honorable Antonio Mangkukang III, Honorable Ismael D.P. Lim, Honorable Jose Neril Manggol, and Honorable Baldomero Limpiada, now approved on third and final reading. Is there any formal motion for adjournment?
Madam Presiding Officer, since no other matters to discuss with, I move that we adjourn.
The session is adjourned.